On this day, 12 years ago, James Regan was killed in action in Iraq. Let's talk about that, what that means to me and what it means to my mission. "12 years ago, James Regan, who was a ranger at 3rd Ranger Battalion, Charlie Company, my unit, was killed in action in Iraq. Now in 1983, when I was a sophomore at Lewis and Clark College, I decided that I needed a little more adventure in my life and wanted to join the Army and become a ranger. As a result, I ended up being a plank holder at the 3rd Ranger Battalion in Charlie Company, 3rd Squad, and spent the majority of my time in the Army there. We never saw any action. It wasn't until 1989 when my unit finally saw their first action, which was in Panama. But since 9/11, my unit and all of the Ranger units have been in constant rotation overseas in various conflicts and have suffered many losses. This date also marks the very beginnings of the Rangers Lead the Way Fund, which Jimmy's parents, James and Mary, started once they started to realize just how much support there was lacking for families of soldiers who lost their lives, or even soldiers who came back wounded and in various forms of disability. They saw a need, and much like their son, they jumped in to fill that need, and the Rangers Lead the Way Fund was born. When I decided I wanted to take on this most recent adventure of mine through hiking the PCT, I knew that I wanted to be about something more than just me. I mean, I've conquered quite a few personal challenges over my many years, hopefully many more to come. This is one I've been wanting to do for over 30 years. Since actually before I joined the Ranger Battalion, I've been wanting to do the PCT. So when I finally decided that I wanted to do this, I kind of felt like I wanted it to mean something more. I wanted it to benefit others, and it seemed natural, to me at least, that I would give back to the unit that helped mold the man that I became. So I contacted the Rangers Lead the Way Fund, figured out a way to set up my own fundraiser through CrowdRise. So every step that I take is for those who can no longer take those steps. First of all, why is there a need for a Lead the Way Fund? You would think that the government, through VA and other resources, would take care of the soldiers and their families who suffered these great losses and who put their lives literally on the line. But as it turns out, and many of you may know, there's some shortfalls. The VA can only do so much. They're only so funded, which is not nearly enough. So if a soldier comes back wounded and is in need of prosthetics or treatment or rehabilitation programs, all of that kind of stuff, that all costs money. And in the meantime, a lot of times they're unable to work or support themselves, especially for a long time through recovery. So this is where the Lead the Way Fund steps in and fills in those gaps. They take care of, at last count, I think, around 4,500 men and women and their families who are part of the Ranger Regiment. There are 5 major programs in the Lead the Way Fund that offer assistance in varying capacities to Rangers and families. The Ranger Transition Program helps Rangers through the reintegration process, ensuring that they achieve their goals of a rewarding and prosperous civilian life. One of the ways they do this is through the Collegiate Access Program, or CAP, which is in collaboration with their partner organizations, which provides transitioning Rangers who are interested in advanced education with valuable tools and resources to help navigate through the complicated process of selecting and applying to top-level universities. Through the Wounded Ranger Recovery Program, they work with the United States Special Operations Command Warrior Care Program, also known as CARE Coalition, and Unit Command, and take a comprehensive approach to identifying and supporting severely wounded Rangers during all phases of the recovery process. Unfortunately, the care provided by the government is often limited and insufficient to support their needs, so the LTWF provides ongoing support from the moment of injury through the short and long-term recovery, rehabilitation, and transition process. It all starts with an immediate financial grant of $3,500 for Rangers that are wounded in action or during training, which, believe me, happens, and to the families of Rangers who have been killed in action. Also, if a spouse or additional family members need to be at the bedside of their loved one, they ensure that travel costs, accommodations, including extended stays, childcare, and expenses are covered so there's no additional financial or emotional stress. If the Ranger suffers a setback during his recovery process that requires additional hospitalization and therapies, the LTWF will provide additional grants to the family so there is no financial shortfall. Also, and this kind of blew my mind, for Rangers who have suffered more severe injuries like paralysis or amputations, the Lead the Way Fund provides support for modified vehicles and builds or modifies mortgage-free accessible smart homes. These are custom built that include specific adaptive equipment necessary to support the specific needs of each Ranger. Through the Ranger Chaplain Program, they assist Ranger Chaplains with the task of enhancing Ranger morale and sustaining family relationships. They do this by providing enrichment grants for programs that are established by Chaplain Command. These include marriage retreats and date nights, single Ranger retreats, as well as high energy activities like mountain climbing, snow skiing, whitewater rafting, mountain biking. Like I said, elements of the 75th Ranger Regiment have been on non-stop deployment since 9/11. And when a Ranger is deployed, so is his family. Long separations can be challenging and very strenuous on the family unit. This is where the FRGs, or Family Readiness Groups, step in. FRGs consist of family members and other volunteers associated with a particular unit that act as first responders that serve to enhance the well-being, morale, and esprit de corps of the unit. Through the Ranger Family Health and Wellness Program, the Lead the Way Fund is able to support FRGs in the regiment with grants to pay for the all-important family morale boosting activities. And again, when a Ranger has made the ultimate sacrifice, they provide funds to get the FRG to the side of the Ranger wife and family during that arduous burial process. Additionally, each year during the often difficult holiday season, LTWF provides gift cards to the junior NCO Ranger families who have been determined by command to be most in need and under financial strain during the season. And of course, there's the Gold Star program. When a Ranger is paid the ultimate sacrifice, whether in combat or in training, the Ranger Lead the Way Fund believes they have a moral obligation to support the dependents of these heroes. So through this program, they ensure that the essential necessities of the Gold Star families go uninterrupted. I wouldn't really say that I'm into astrology, but you might say that I have more than a passing acquaintance. But what I do believe in is that we get signs from time to time, and when this particular horoscope popped up for me, just a couple of days after I finally made the mental commitment to do this hike and to do this for the Rangers Lead the Way Fund, it seemed like some small confirmation that I was on the right track. Rangers Lead the Way.